Hi, I'm Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of Regulator. Welcome to this week's Regulatory Roundup. This week, there were 963 alerts from 165 unique U.S. regulators, and 336 had to do with coronavirus. The regulator of the week is Michigan. The regulators are ablaze with rules about PPP loans and relief funds, including Michigan, but the governor there signed an executive directive to create the Michigan COVID-19 Office of Accountability within the state budget office. As far as I can tell, it is the first accountability office that will provide oversight on all spending to address the crisis, and it's required to report regularly on its work with the governor and the state budget director. The topic of the week is reopening. Most of the states have now issued their approaches to reopening, and some states have even reopened. It started last week with a few states opening for elective medical procedures, but this week we got our first glimpse of non-essential, non-medical businesses opening. So if you're dying to see a movie in a theater, go to Texas. If you need to hit the salon or spa, go to Arkansas or Ohio. If you're wanting to go to church, try Tennessee or West Virginia. And if you really need to hit the gym, try Wyoming. For those of you following cannabis, Illinois has dropped its May 1st deadline for the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation to issue up to 75 conditional adult use cannabis dispensing organization licenses. For those of you following cyber, the FDIC, as a member of the FFIEC, issued a statement addressing the use of cloud computing services and security risk management principles for the financial services sector. In the document, the FDIC outlines the responsibilities financial institutions have when contracting with cloud computing providers and provides examples of risk management practices. For those of you following privacy, New York announced plans for their massive contact tracing pilot program where they will hire 30 people for every population of 100,000 that will do nothing but trace the spread of COVID-19 and send warning to those who might have it. The FTC is extending its Privacy of Consumer Financial Information rule, which ensures that customers have access to the privacy policies of the financial institutions with which they conduct business. This means the comment period is open, so have at it. Nevada has proposed regs out on a new loan database. The bill would require the Commissioner of Financial Institutions to develop, implement, and maintain a database storing certain information relating to deferred deposit loans, title loans, and high-interest loans made to customers in the state. For those of you following crowdfunding, the SEC adopted temporary final rules to expedite the offering process for smaller, previously established companies affected by COVID-19 that are seeking to meet their funding needs through the offer and sale of securities pursuant to Regulation crowdfunding. The rule eases up in relation to the timing of the offering and the availability of financial statements, and they are effective only from May 4th, 2020, all the way through March 1st of 2021. I know there are a number of you following all the states as they lift in-person signatory requirements, so here is this week's snapshot. NYSE modified its proxy delivery requirements. Texas has allowed video conference notaries for real estate transactions. North Carolina has temporarily authorized emergency video notarizations. The New Jersey governor agreed to allow county and municipal clerks to accept referendum petitions electronically, but he just vetoed a bill authorizing notary public to perform notarial acts remotely, saying that it essentially was drafted in the earlier days of COVID-19 and there was a better bill to sign. In fact, the New Jersey governor vetoed 8 bills, saying they were no longer relevant or feasible in light of these new circumstances. For those of you following SROs, FINRA extended the time for the SEC to take action on their proposed best interest rule. The SEC now has until June 23rd. In other federal news, the Census Bureau is adding supplemental questions on coronavirus. The CFTC has amended filing forms for commodity pool operators. The CFPB issued a report on the substantial decline in credit applications in March, which is an interesting impact of COVID-19. They also issued interpretive guidance regarding the Truth in Lending Act in the days of coronavirus. The North American Securities Administrators Association formed a COVID-19 enforcement task force consisting of state and provincial securities regulators to identify and stop potential threats to investors stemming from the COVID-19 pandemic. The SEC is holding an open meeting today in regards to the single national market system. That will be at 1 p.m. Eastern. The SEC has also suspended trading of 3 more companies for COVID-19 claims. In state news, a California couple honeymooning in Hawaii was arrested for not taking the quarantine requirements seriously. Utah did a thorough review of a huge state purchase of chloroquine and hydrochloroquine and determined that everybody involved acted in good faith despite a major breakdown in communication. In light of that finding, the governor's office is very grateful that the vendor is going to refund the state's $800,000. In addition to state and federal issues, there are a lot of county and city versus governor issues going on. Gaston County in North Carolina opposed the governor's stay-at-home order, but acknowledged that the governor is the commanding authority in this circumstance. California is warning people of a coronavirus scam involving the PACE program California that falsely claims to kill most viruses. It looks like it's a California logo, but it is not a real California agency. And finally, the Kentucky Department of Financial Institutions fined JP Morgan $350,000 for mismanaged mutual funds. That's it this week for Regulator's US Alerts. Join us every Wednesday morning on LinkedIn, and for the longer version, go see us on YouTube. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy.